Nicole Scott here from Mobile Geeks. I am at the ZF booth at CES 2019, and we're going to be talking about one of the major trends of the show, ride sharing. Robot taxis are kind of all over the place, and ZF was no exception. You guys actually showed an autonomous ride-hailing system over in the parking lot, and I got to take a ride, and I stopped at a school and an airport, and it was actually really thrilling. So you can tell me a little bit about what you were showing, Thomas.
Yeah, what we have shown is our autonomous vehicle, our idea of ride-hailing in the future, mobility, next generation mobility for inner urban cities, for example, and mobility. And I hope you enjoy the ride because it's much more comfortable. You do not have to look for a parking area. You do not have to find your vehicle again. You just step in, take a comfortable ride. You will always be safe because we have all implemented our occupant safety systems, and you just enjoy it.
Well, and that's something that we were talking about earlier, because we are in a people mover right now from Ego. And we were talking about this future of robot taxis and how there's no driver. And there's so many implications of not having a driver that I hadn't really considered. You'd mentioned about having children in the back. Can you give me some of the examples? Because I was interested to learn.
Yeah. So if you do not have a driver anymore in a small bus in public transport, we need to cover a lot of scenarios. We were just today covered by the driver. Just to check what is the charging of the battery. That's an easy thing. Diagnostic data we need to transfer to the back end. But just imagine you need to count how many people are in the bus, how many people are going in, how many people are going out, because you need to make sure you do not overload it. Or if you only have one person and suddenly she collapses, what are you then doing? That's the reason why we have an interior observation system, and we connect the vehicle to a backend. If such things happen, we can react. But just imagine we have children who are fighting each other or something like that, and we have no driver anymore who can control them. This is where we need to take control by connectivity over the vehicle and make them clear that they should stop.
I mean, that's the really interesting thing, is that though objects are autonomous, it means there's no driver, there's no people, they don't exist alone. They exist within a whole ecosystem that we still have to take responsibility for. No driver, no person doesn't mean that we're not accountable or not connected.
Yeah. You will be connected anyway to a whole ecosystem. The autonomous vehicle, as long as we have mixed fleets, need to work properly in a mixed fleet area. So that means we have to cover all possible accident scenarios so that the mover can react. And then you do not want to make evasive maneuver assistance, something like that, even if all the people inside say, okay, that was...
Let's do it.
Let's do it, yeah? Why does he do that? Yeah? And we need to have a natural driving experience, and what is also comfortable for the people. And I think that is important.
The other thing that I was thinking is, I'm imagining a wonderful world where we don't have traffic. And these types of autonomous ride sharing, this is a big step towards decreasing congestion on our roads. But the other step beyond that is removing parcels or delivery trucks from daytime delivery. And one of the reasons why we have so much daytime delivery is drivers don't want to drive at night. And also there's more accidents at night, just statistically. So like these types of things are kind of stopping or keeping traffic on our daytime roads. Can you talk about how cargo movers are going to change things?
Yeah, so autonomous driving with people or cargo movers offers a lot of aspects of advantages we do not see before. As you mentioned, we have a customer expectation of same-day delivery of what you ordered. But when you are at home, probably in the evening, no driver come because they are already stopped working. So, we can ensure with an autonomous cargo mover, we can ensure that you get your delivery. And probably in the future we will see mobility concepts in cities where you're not allowed to go into city for cargo delivery during the day. And so you have to do it by night. And then if you have to do it by night, you need to go with an electric driveline because you do not want to generate noise. You need to be quiet. There's a reason why the people mover or the cargo mover is an electric driven vehicle. And all these aspects we have put into this product. And I think that is a big step forward And just imagine if you if you order something, and we see already concepts arising in the US. Just look on Waymo and Walmart and so on. Yeah, so you have your daily food delivery. This can only be done if it's driven automatically, because you will not find the drivers anymore who can do the job, and which makes it affordable for you to get this comfort. And this is where autonomous driving and autonomous people or cargo moving will be an enabler for a totally different world. We are living in inner cities.
You know, Daimler Trucks had an announcement this show about a partially autonomous semi-trailer. I think it's the Cascadia. And I was listening to this news, and I realized that the reason why this is so important is there's actually a driver shortage, because we're all addicted to shopping online. And the number of packages that we're receiving even today is causing a strain on our package delivery ecosystem. I mean, like, the mail service was definitely something that we thought, oh no, we have email, it's going away. And then we all got addicted to online shopping, and the mail service is back to being one of the most important lifelines for now the average consumer in business. And it's still a little bit far away, this future of replacing drivers with autonomous vehicles. We're not quite there yet, even though I think we're all maybe logistically ready to have this come and alleviate some of the pain points. Can you talk about what it's going to look like coming up to this point?
Yes, and so I think autonomous driving is the only way of closing the gap between an exponential growth of logistic demands, driven by online shopping, for example, and the driver shortage. And so our idea within CF is, let me say, a stepwise approach. So we have already presented our ideas for last mile delivery. If we connect this to big trucks, autonomous driving on highways, to have a hub-to-hub driving and delivery of the goods with big trucks, mm-hmm. Okay? There we will close the gap with the driver shortage on the long distance. And then if you have reached the next hub, then you need to have smaller vehicles, electrically driven, that can go into the cities with a cargo mover, for example, in order to close the final mile or the last mile to deliver your goods. You cannot go, probably you're also not allowed to go in the cities with a big truck anymore in the future. So you need to have a cascaded concept, and we have all concepts available. So CF has also a big advantage in the truck area, and we can transfer all our autonomous technologies also to that area. Mm-hmm. So we use all the synergies to close the whole logistic chain you need to close in order to fulfill your requirement, because you do not want to wait in the future. If you order something on online shopping, you do not wait for 2 or 3 days.
No,
so we need to close that.
I want it now when I hit buy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah? If you, as soon as you have pushed the button, you buy it, your expectation will come, your perfect expectation is you will come within the next hours. And that is only possible with autonomous driving, because otherwise it will be too expensive, or you cannot do it because you will not find the drivers anymore.
Now, one other thing for autonomous driving kind of comes to mind. At your tech day mid last year, you guys actually showed the craziest demo of a trailer unhooking and rehooking and driving around. Now, this was like next level autonomy. We're getting used to the idea of trucks being on the road, but when you start to look at this real infrastructure delivery stuff, the place of autonomous driving almost seems just like magical in the way that it can kind of streamline things.
Yeah, but what we demonstrated in the automated freight yard is, in our point of view, not the in the late entry point, it's the earliest entry point. Why? Because you have a geofenced area. So it's an automated freight yard, so you do not have to fulfill all homologation efforts on public roads. And if you look on that, for example, changing the load, yeah, you have to maneuver with a big truck by an accuracy of 2 to 5 centimeters. Okay, but if you have untrained drivers, what would happen? you will have some damages. And if you can avoid these damages, by automatic driven load changes, then you can have a win-win situation. First of all, you do not lose time in changing the freight. Second is you save a lot of money because you avoid the damages. And so you have a win-win situation, and it's the first entry and earliest entry in autonomous driving because you have a geofence area. So for us, that's a very early point of realization of our ideas.
Excellent. So we've actually covered a lot of things that aren't here actually at CES, just because you guys have so many things in your portfolio when it comes to autonomous vehicles. And autonomous ride sharing, though I think it's one of the hotter topics here at the show, is kind of pegging into that moment where our things do become autonomous. And it's not just cars, it's not just Freightliners, it's kind of everything in the ecosystem around it to kind of do that last mile delivery. So
so if you look on ride hailing or ride sharing or mobility as a service, that's the main driver for autonomous driving. Because if you look on the business cases, if you look on the introduction scenarios and so on, if you can remove the driver, make a new concept of mobility, make a city car free in order to make more green areas or whatever, that's the main driver, because you can see the immediate advantage, and it's also a viable business case, so it will come. That's the history.
Well, it's not coming soon enough, in my opinion.
We are doing our best to develop as fast as possible.
All right then. All right, thank you so much for taking the time to join me, and check out more of what we've been up to here at CES 2018. I'm Nicole Scott from Mobile Geeks.